It's a pleasure to be here today. I recall some months back, last year I was here, 9 months back, and I must say that it was a very blessed day then and same today. A very pleasant community, very pleasant people, very humble people. It's always a pleasure to visit such places where the community is led by people of wisdom. And I always say to my friends, it is really not about qualification, masters or PhD, but wisdom, which is needed for fulfillment, growth and development of any society or community. And I say that in any community, for advancement and progress, there are 3 requirements that need to be in the community, in the society, in the village. One is social groups, like women's club, or youth club, or Muslim League branch, or Sangha branch, etc. Any social group, because social groups do not look at ethnicity or class or caste system. They help everyone in need. The second requirement of growth and development of any community or society is places of worship, such as church or temples or masjid or gurudwara, because it gives an opportunity for people to gain spiritual enlightenment. It gives you a place which is very sacred, which is very pure, for you to go, meditate, pray, and get connected to the Lord Almighty. And the third, very important requirement for a stable, prosperous, and growing community is people with wisdom, elderly in the society. Imagine a village, a community or society without any elder, without any old person with wisdom and experience. They will never lead you to a wrong direction, because they have a body of knowledge which is tested over time. And whatever they say, they'll give you good knowledge, good information. And blessed is this community to have 2 of such persons amongst us. Let's pray to God that they remain with us for as long as God wants, in very healthy and stable situation. And our children, our little children, continue to talk to them and gain knowledge which is not found in any textbooks or any magazines or any journals. The knowledge that is found in our elders, amongst our elders, you won't find it in libraries or textbooks or journals. That is why it is important that they be in every village or community, and that is why it's important that people organize events where our children get opportunity to talk to them and engage with them. This knowledge will not be available through any other means. And that is why sometimes you see radio programs where they call people, elderly people, to come and talk. Ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Prime Minister has sent his regards to you all. My presence here is not only my presence, but presence of our Prime Minister, our entire Cabinet and Government. As you all are aware, that our Honorable Prime Minister always talks about education for all, as enshrined in our Constitution, 23rd Constitution. Because our Honorable Prime Minister and our government believes that it is through education that we will be able to ensure that our people, our future PG, can have a peaceful, stable and prosperous future. Our Honorable Prime Minister, our government believes that we need to educate everyone, immaterial of what ethnicity they belong to, what religious belief they hold, or where they originate from. Whether they originate from the squatter settlement or the islands or interior. It is in this regard that our government engages in policy making for all. Our government believes that it doesn't matter if you're out of sight, you will still be in our mind. Our government makes policies keeping in mind people in the remotest islands. And that's where we begin our policy making, thinking how they will be affected, how we could contribute to uplifting their standards. Ladies and gentlemen, the level of resources that our government has mobilized to improve the living standards of people in the interior, deep interior maritime division, never ever that level of resources were allocated to them. In fact, policy making in the past was made as if people never existed in the deep interior maritime division. Past policy making was centralized to urban dwellers, to the rich and elite. Now people in the deep interior, rural areas, maritime division were forgotten. And it is because of that kind of policy making we have seen massive rural to urban migration. And now people are talking about overpopulation of squatter areas, overpopulation of urban area. But the damage has been done because in the past, previous governments neglected them and they had no alternative but to come towards urban area so that they can have a bite of the facilities provided in the urban area. Ladies and gentlemen, those days are over. Gone are those days when children of the poor, the working class, used to see high school and university education as a dream only. No longer parents of the poor households have to worry about how they will fund their child's education, the high school vocational institution. No longer parents of children whose aptitude doesn't lie in higher education have to worry about how they will meet the aptitude of the child who has an interest or have an interest in technical education. Your group, your faith group, is one of the leaders amongst other faith groups in providing opportunity to every children in this area to have access to technical education. And I want to thank Manager Nazim and the President and board members for allowing us to access to your infrastructure, the former Nausori High School, to be converted into a technical college campus. I must say that it was a very bold step to give up the property for the betterment of all ethnic groups, all communities. Thank you, and thank you formally again, Mohammed Nazim, and the board members and the members of the Anjuman Hidayat Al-Islam group for providing us that infrastructure, and that will become the symbol of technical education for Nausori and this region. We are making major headroads in ensuring that those children who have an aptitude, interest in technical education are able to gain access to the technical college. And throughout the world, there's a huge and massive demand for skilled personnel in the area of technical education. Ladies and gentlemen, you all are aware of the reforms that we began in 2014, end of 2014. The reforms was to ensure, apart from ensuring that we have accessible education, we also have relevant and quality education. In this regard, I want to thank all stakeholders, in particular teachers, who worked very hard to adopt those reforms and deliver as per the requirements of the ministry. We have begun to see the fruits of implementing those reforms. We brought back exams, we removed scaling, we are fine-tuning the curriculum. I must say that international experts have seen our curriculum and are proud of it, because this will ensure that the graduates that come out of our primary school or high school are relevant to the global market and not only relevant to Fiji only. Because our children now should be global citizens. The whole world is converging with respect to subject matter knowledge, with respect to ideologies. It is important that we ensure that we remain relevant by ensuring that our curriculum is relevant. Ladies and gentlemen, we have faced challenges over the last 2 years. A major challenge was the aftermath, dealing with the aftermath of Cyclone Winston. Over 400 schools were damaged in different degrees. Unfortunately, some only talk about selected 1 or 2 schools. For us, our government, every child is important to us. And continuously, our Honorable Prime Minister and our government has emphasized that whenever we talk about providing water, providing education, providing housing, we should talk about every household, every child in this country. We should not decompose them with respect to social status. We should not decompose them with respect to geographical location. We should not decompose them with respect to ethnicity or what religious belief they hold. Our country in the past has been torn because leaders in the political parties continue to divide the community and people along ethnic lines or religious lines, etc. But our government, our Prime Minister, has done away with this. And unfortunately, we still see some people hold up in Parliament continuing to talk about ethnicity or religious line, or talk about some elite schools only. We believe in looking after every children. Every school is important to us, and we will attend to every school, every child's need. We need to get away from the thinking of people and withdraw our support to those people who continue to push ethnic or religious lines or push for resource allocation to only their area or their particular location. The whole idea or notion of having a single constituency is to push for people to think about the whole country as a whole. That is why we have moved away from different constituencies, because in the past, people were arguing for resource allocation to their constituency only, ignoring the plight of other people in other constituencies. And whenever we want to talk about providing electricity or water or education, we're talking about entire Fiji. That's what national planning is about. But still, we find people talking about constructing a bridge or water or electricity in their area only. When they're talking about electricity, they don't ask which areas don't have electricity and what plan we have to provide electricity in those areas in Fiji. They'll only come and talk about electricity or water in their village. Those days are gone. We have moved away. We don't want to go back to 70s and 80s. Contemporary Fiji is about every Fijian in this country. We see every people, every person, every child as citizens of Fiji as having access to the best for all. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very pleasant day. With a small assistance from the Ministry of Education, we have seen the community faith-based group coming forward, providing money, raising funds to construct classrooms so that the children get best education. It's my pleasure to be here today to acknowledge the vision the forefathers had and the elders had having to ensure that the children of this community, not only their faith-based group, the children of this community, this area, whoever wants to come to the school gets quality education, best education. This is the beauty about our school system in Fiji. There is no school in Fiji which is only for particular ethnic group or particular faith-based group. This is a beauty and a model for the entire world. While the particular faith-based group, such as Anjuman Hidayat or Sangam or Sanatan Dharam or Methodist or Catholic, while they funded the initial construction of the school, but they never closed the door to children of different ethnic groups, different faith-based groups. In fact, some schools we find that you have more students from the other faith, the other ethnic group. And it's a model for the entire world. And Fiji will remain a model under our leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the leadership of Vunimono Islamia group here in Nausori for supporting the ministry in educating our children, and I look forward to assisting them further once our budget comes up in July to ensure that we replace the remaining old aging buildings progressively. So be rest assured, manager, of our support. And I want to thank each and every member of the community for coming here today and witnessing a major achievement amongst the new generation of leaders for this school. I also want to thank Kuku and members of the Ito community for continuously supporting not only this school, but other schools in this area. Thank you, Naka.